Good morning, and it's great to be back in Santa Cruz. It's been 20 years since I completed my master's in computer science, and I've been at Pixar now for 15 years. So as Jim mentioned, I worked on Toy Story, and I tend to work on films for maybe around 3 years at a stretch, so I kind of leapfrog things. I didn't work on Up, but I've been working on a film called The Bear and the Bow, which is still 2.5 years from hitting the theaters. And other films that I've worked on are Monsters Incorporated and A Bug's Life, The Incredibles. I did not work on Nemo, but I did work on Ratatouille for a few months, and WALL-E here I spent a little over 3 years working on that. So it's a wide variety of films, and we've got Up, which premieres today, and next year there's Toy Story 3 is coming out, and let's see, there's Cars 2 in the works. I don't remember the release date for that. I think that maybe comes out before The Bear and the Bow, but I'm getting mixed up. I don't know. But what I want to talk to you about today is some of the work that I did on WALL-E, and hopefully you guys had a chance to see WALL-E when it was in the theaters, and it was definitely a labor of love, and a lot of labor went into it. The crowds, the first 2/3 of the film is just WALL-E and Eve on the planet for the most part. And it's not until they go to the Axiom that we have crowds. And so there are a lot of different things going on there. We have, there we go, robots. As WALL-E is exploring the ship, he's got to try and navigate this vast array of robots that are there maintaining all the functions and the enjoyment of the passengers of the Axiom. And they have, there's a wide variety of robots that we had to construct. And they have their own navigation rules and systems, and so we had to come up with that. There's also the guests on the Axiom Starliner, and they end up having to do a lot of different things. They're, of course, always in their lounge chairs and sipping on food through a cup, whether it's pizza in a cup or hamburger in a cup or what have you. And this part of the film, they all have to assemble on the Lido deck. One of the things that we had to do is accomplish those broad vistas that you just saw, and also we had to take care of close-ups. Now the guy that WALL-E is helping into the chair there is not obviously a crowd character, but all of the other crowd characters that come close to camera, they have to hold up in the same way. And a lot of times we would take the characters that had gone through the crowd system and then promote them into our regular animation system. So the last of the big challenges that we had is when the Axiom goes into this big emergency and tilts, and you can forget all about how gravity works in outer space and just go with the fun of it. But all 8,000 of the residents of the Axiom are sliding across the deck and piling up on one side of it. And so obviously John and Mary there with the kids are what we term hero animated, but then most of the other characters are crowd characters, and they may have been promoted into our main animation system to kind of sweeten the performance or otherwise enhance it. So our inspiration for WALL-E once he gets onto the ship was actually Charlie Chaplin, and we found this little clip, and this shows some of the traffic, and you can kind of see where the rules of behavior came in for all the robots that were on the deck. And what happens. And Charlie is Wally. He comes in. He doesn't know the rules of you have to pay attention to the cars or when to go and when to stop. And the cop here is like one of the stewards there that kind of manages the flow. And he still doesn't quite get it. He's a little bit curious. But then just watching the patterns of these people go by, they're just kind of streaming by along these invisible lanes. And we decided that was something that we wanted to make official and draw the lanes down and show that there was kind of this underlying order to everything, and there's a kind of a glowing light underneath the robots and the chairs as they're moving along the lanes. And so this was kind of the inspiration for doing that. Now, like Charlie, Wally does eventually kind of get the hang of things, and in this case, he decides just to bid his adieu.